this is Sierra and welcome to another video. Today we're doing another video reading Chapter 9 of Hermitcraft Mayhem. You can probably see from the title of the video that this perspective is for Grian, and yeah, pattern shows that a little bit too, so you get that. There are captions available if you are interested in following along there, but I'm going to get right into the video, and yeah, let's enjoy. Well, enjoy. Grian sat on the couch, his back to the curtain window. Murmurs filled the room as people trickled in. Anyone who was able, anyway. Warm sunlight bathed his back as he leaned forward, eyeing the kitchen door. What were the brothers so afraid of that Sam would want to talk to his brother first? Something about this wasn't adding up. Sure, a jailbreak was pretty big news, but it seemed to happen every other month now at this point. But Conover was supposed to be in charge, leading the cause to protect the innocent. He wouldn't need to stage a break-in unless there was some resistance. "What's on your mind?" Jim asked, calmly watching him from the adjacent armchair. Next to her were Joel and Pearl, quietly talking to each other in whispers. "Not much," Grian shrugged. "This whole situation is weird, I guess." Jim nodded. "It doesn't help that Conover allied himself with the enemy." Grian shook his head. Why was he there with Richard? Rob at least makes a little sense, but RJ? The man who goes out of his way to go after the very people Conover is supposed to be protecting? "It smells fishy, that's for sure," Pearl piped in, turning her attention from Joel. "Do you know who was in that wing?" Grian fidgeted. The prison was under Rose's control. Only a few people knew about it. "Then how did they find it?" Jem frowned. Grian shrugged. How was he supposed to know? She pulled him away from his eavesdropping before he could get enough information. But did it matter? Sam was planning to tell them anyway. But was it normal for the brothers to talk privately beforehand? Sam was older by 2 years. He didn't need his brother's counsel. Grian turned at the sound of a door opening. His spiraling thoughts quieted for a moment. He spotted the two brothers in the hall before Sam disappeared. "Did I miss something?" Liam mused, stepping into the room. "No, we're just hanging out," Pearl shrugged. "Care to join us?" "Yeah, we have snacks if you're hungry." Scar beamed. "Thanks, but I'm good." "Suit yourself," Scar said nonchalantly as Liam took a seat across from Grian. His piercing bright blue eyes scanned the room. "So, how is everyone?" Liam asked, folding his hands on his lap. "Fine," Grian shrugged. "You were talking to your brother for a while." Liam chuckled. "It wasn't that long. You wanted to talk to me first. It was important." "How important?" Liam raised an eyebrow. "What do you know?" "That there's been a jailbreak recently," Skid said. "Ah," Liam nodded. "Well, it is true. There was a break-in that freed a wing of prisoners." "How big is the prison?" Joel asked. "It has 5 wings, total. Each wing houses different offenders with a range of severity." "Which wing did they break into?" Grian asked. Liam blanched. "The one with the highest security. Prisoners with severe crimes. Of course." "Oh," Grian gulped. "Yeah, Sam thinks they were Conover's men. They wore similar attire to the army that attacked him in Falls at the base a week ago." "Dan told him?" Impulse pressed. "Yeah. He even got video footage thanks to your upgrades." Liam nodded. "We don't know the men who broke in, but we do know the names of those they released." "Why are you looking at me like that?" Grian asked. Liam fidgeted uncomfortably in his armchair, as if the chair was hot. "Robert Sharp was one of them." "You're joking." Grian tensed. Liam shook his head. Rose wanted to make sure Conover wouldn't be able to find him to get him out. She did everything she could, but of course he still found it, Rob. How? Impulse asked. If there were only a few who knew of the location, how would he have found it? Who knows? Someone could have been followed. He could have been lucky, or someone told him either willingly or not. We just know that he sent those men. Who else broke out? Beat-ups asked. If you can tell us. I think it's best if you're informed of the risks. Sam spoke up, reappearing in the hallway. You sure? Liam looked over his shoulder. Sam nodded. Clara trusts us to do the right thing. So does Dappy. Liam bit his bottom lip and nodded. Everything? Sam crossed the room, standing by his brother. Connor is already making his move. I think it's time. Time for what? Grian asked, inching to the edge of the couch. Why did these boys look so worried? One of the prisoners was a former protector named Kyle Pierce. Sam reported. According to his file, he was arrested for attempted kidnapping and murder on multiple different occasions. Wait, Impulse raised a hand. Is this the same Kyle who tried to kill me for ruining his assignment? The same guy who killed Xavier, who Julius and I ran into while rescuing his mother? Sam nodded. I believe so. Oh, great! Impulse groaned. Skiz put a hand on his friend's shoulder. I'm not going to let him hurt you. No, I'm fine. Impulse shook his head. He looked up at Grian. A wave of fear and dread washed over him as Grian shuddered. Kyle had been the man sent by Mr. Hay to hurt him, but Impulse had spotted him, warning Scar in time to stop the act. Well, the harm exposure still hit him, and that sent Scar into a coma due to just returning home from a lovely world and reacting badly to the potion. The last time Grian had seen him was when the man tried to kidnap him while he was giving the interns a tour of the fortress, which resulted in Kyle hurting him. Yeah, she did. There's more, Sam reported. You wouldn't know them, and I only just learned about them, but Dan, previous protectors, spies from the other side, or neighbors took it too far. How far is too far? Grian squeaked. You don't want to know. Grian shuddered again. What had Dan told the boy about these men? It might be good to know their names, Skid suggested, in case we run into them. There's a good chance you might, Liam said solemnly. In more ways than one. Sam cleared his throat. There were 3 other guys, other than Rob and Kyle. 2 of them are cousins, Larry and Harry Johnson. They were arrested for betraying a neighbor and joining Mr. A. They both murdered at least 10 YouTubers each. What? He stammered. Sam nodded. They were recruited for security. They were stationed as guards and often took things too far with their prisoners. Serves them right for being locked up then, Skiz muttered. They're not locked up now, Impulse said softly. Why no? Skiz lifted his chin. I'll make sure they wish they were still behind bars. Impulse giggled nervously. We don't know what the cousins are capable of, Sam warned. Dan's only seen the paperwork, so we need to be careful. Force fields for everyone? Scar offered, tapping one of the armrests of his wheelchair. I can work on that, but I don't know if that's a viable option, Impulse said. Why not ask Luke? Grian asked. He's bored in bed. You can show him how to do it and then leave him to it. Josh and Isaac could also pitch in. That's not a bad idea. And Liam agreed with a nod. I'll ask them if they're up for it, Impulse consented. But I am worried that will be an issue again. Then we'll figure something out, Sam replied. We're always on call for backup if need be. We can always call for backup if need be. Apologies. Jim nodded. I've been practicing with false in strengthening our link. Good. Keep doing that. Sam smiled. I will. What about the third guy? Beatles asked. Tyrone Costa, former protector, Sam stated. He got bored doing his job and left town where he was supposed to keep an eye on a YouTuber and his family. He was later recruited by Mr. A as an undercover spy, like Gerald. What happened to the family? Jim asked. Sam shook his head. He betrayed them because he was annoyed by the kids constantly pestering him. You can't be serious, Pearl gasped. It's on the record, Sam replied. He told the guard himself. I see a pattern here, Skiz scowled. These guys are a bunch of jerks. You're not wrong, Liam said. They also make for good candidates for Gerald. You think so? Grian asked. If that's what Conover wants them for. You don't know? Nope, Sam sighed. We're working on it, though. What about the other prisoners? Joel pressed. Still contained, as far as I know. Sam lowered his head. It's not great news. We'll manage, Impulse said, feigning confidence. Grian could still feel the waves of spiraling dread hitting him. Sam nodded, letting his shoulders relax. There's one more thing we think you should know. There is? Grian was on the edge of his seat. Again, Liam met his gaze, a mix of concern and apprehension on his face. Yeah, Sam put his hand behind his back. There's a possibility that Conover may be using one of Stampy's old gadgets. What? Jim's eyes widened. Which one? Scar asked curiously. Liam sighed. The clone machine. The blueprints were found with Viva's that Stampy collected 3 days ago. How? Didn't he destroy it? Jim persisted. He did. At least he thought he destroyed everything. Apparently Conover got his hands on some blueprints. Stampy has been trying to figure out whether or not he's been able to recreate it. What if he does? Grian asked. It would not be good for us, Sam said. He could send wave after wave of his men without worrying about losses. We wouldn't stand a chance. Grian gulped. How would we know? It's mostly guesswork at the moment, Liam said. For all we know, he could have found more recruits and hit the right identities. It could be nothing. You're not sure, Impulse pointed out. No, Liam sighed. Sorry. We'll figure something out. Skid snapped his fingers. Do you know if any of them have any weaknesses? No, Sam replied. There is 1-for-1 copy. There's gotta be a way, Skid insisted. The brothers smiled and nodded. Is that everything? Grian asked. As far as we know, yes, Liam said calmly. We don't know what this might mean or what Conover is planning to do, but we also don't know that if they were able to create one. All we know is that 5 dangerous men have escaped, and that we should be ready for whatever comes next. When do you think Gerald will make his move? B-Dubs queried. Soon, Sam said. His expression was solemn. I should go back and pick up False. You do that, Jim stood. We've got to work out a plan to help Scar get Gerald anyway. Scar blinked. Are you sure? We're not going to let him keep bullying you like this, Impulse said defiantly, even if it takes all of us working together. Say the word, Jolt nodded firmly. What do you need from us? Pearl asked. A plan, Impulse said as Sam walked out of the room. The older hermit leaned forward, waiting until all eyes were on him. Gerald is strongest when we are alone. How do we keep that from happening without him dragging us away? We don't stop, Skip suggested, as the front door opened and closed, followed by the sound of rockets. We're showing him we won't give up. He can't be there for me all the time, Scar admitted. Gerald always finds a way. So will we. Skitz met his gaze. Hope fluttered in Grian's chest as Scar gave the older hermit a nod. They were doing this, one way or another. What other choice did they have? And that, my friend, is the end of this episode, this chapter. Yeah. Next week we will be moving on to the next perspective, which is, well, Scar in the dream world. We're going into the dream world, and yeah, a lot of dark stuff happens in the dream world because nightmares are terrifying, and my nightmares can be terrifying, and you know how things roll. But yeah, see you guys in the next one, whatever that might be. Goodbye.